Two myths are getting women killed every day. 1, if it doesn't hit you, you're not in danger. 2, women are killed by their partners in the heat of the moment. Neither one of those are true. In reality, there are 8 stages leading up to these tragedies. And if you know these patterns, you can spot the danger early and either get out or help someone else do the same. I'm Emma, a medical doctor, and I've lived in a 21-year-long relationship with coercive control. Today I want to share something that gave me chills and finally made me feel seen. Professor Jane Monckton Smith, a criminologist and former police officer, studied hundreds of homicide cases, and she discovered that most of them follow this 8-stage model. And many of them didn't involve physical violence until the very end. Stage 1. The man has a history of control or stalking. In some countries, you can check online for past convictions. Red flags for such a man is telling you what to do or what to wear, showing explosive anger, at this stage often directed towards someone else, bitterness towards exes or towards women in general, aggressive driving or other reckless behaviors. But often you may not spot any red flags in the beginning because they hide it. They show their charming side to begin with. Crucially, Monckton Smith points out that it is his controlling behaviors that predict the start of one of these relationships, not the woman's vulnerabilities. These men go into the relationship with the aim of breaking down and trapping the woman. Coercive control is the method they use to do this. Professor Monckton Smith compares coercive control to an umbrella that overspans the entire relationship. And under this umbrella falls all the behaviors that he uses to keep her trapped and break her down. Financial abuse, sexual coercion, controlling her behavior, emotional abuse, and sometimes physical abuse. Stage 2. Commitment whirlwind. The relationship moves fast. Love declarations, moving in quickly, gifts, trips, future plans. It may feel safe and like he's all in, but this kind of fast moving into a serious relationship is actually a red flag. Real love grows. It doesn't have to sweep you off your feet and blind you. Stage 3. Living under control. It starts small and then escalates. You should fold the laundry this way. Why did you put on so much makeup? Why didn't you respond to my text right away? In my case, after 21 years, there were rules about everything, from laundry to the routine that I would follow once I got home from work. These rules may be presented as kindness or concern, and sometimes as rage and anger. I thought my husband was just peculiar or had OCD. In reality, this is the typical pattern of coercive control, and the rules and regulations increases as the relationship proceeds. Stage 4. A trigger that threatens the control. The man feels that his control is being threatened. The most common trigger is actually that the woman tries to separate or talk about separation, or take moves to become independent of him. In my case, it was both that I got my medical license and then became more financially independent, even though he was still controlling the finances. And I also started to disengage him and walk away from arguments. Stage 5. Escalation. The abuser escalates the controlling measures to try to regain the control. Longer silent treatments, nastier insults, more anger outbursts, more demands. This stage can escalate to physical violence. This happened to me in 2017 when I tried to bring up the issue of separation with my husband. He very quickly escalated to physical violence and threats. And after that, I was very careful with the way I responded to him, and our relationship circled back to stage 3, so the living under control, and he decreased the emotional abuse. And this is a very common pattern, according to Monckton Smith, that you circle from stage 3 to stage 5 back and forth. So it's sort of a power struggle, but it's not that both of you want to be in power. You just want to have the normal control of yourself, and he wants to have that over you, or you just want to be independent and in control of yourself. But he doesn't want that. He wants to dominate you. So that's the struggle. Some abusers, not being able to regain this control, will move into stage 6. Stage 6 is when they reach the terrifying conclusion that if I can't have you, then no one can. So the solution to their problem and the struggle is that he decides that he will end the woman's life. Risk factors for reaching stage 6 is alcohol abuse, unemployment, suicidal ideations. If there ever has been choking in your relationship, it is also high risk. Another risk factor is the level of control that he has over the woman's life. The more areas that he has control over, the higher the probability that he will increase up these stages when she tries to escape him. So there are several areas that the abuser tries to get control over. It may include sexual, so he owns your body. Financial, he controls the economy. He may control what you're eating. He may control what how you're speaking or which words you are using. Him trying to control how you practice your religion or your opinions on different matters. The more areas of your life that he bugs into, the more control he has, the higher is the risk of escalation. Stage 7 busts another common myth, because this is the planning stage. Most people believe that homicides is an impulsive action where domestic abuse goes too far. That's not the case. Most of the homicides that Monckton Smith studied were planned. In this stage, the man may acquire a weapon, and he may start to talk about death or being together forever. This is exactly what my own husband started to do in the last year that we were together, and increasingly so during the last couple of months. And that was actually the factor that alerted me to the danger and made me take the step to get out, because I am certain that he would have tried to harm me had I stayed. Yesterday, I saw a comment from a woman. It was under another YouTuber's community post, and the post was about standing up for yourself and your right to set boundaries. And this woman wrote in the comments that she had now put down her foot and told her husband since many number of years that she wanted to separate. He did not want to separate, and he kept asking for his gun, and she had hid the gun, but now he had found it, she wrote, but I still have the bullets and I'm standing up for myself, was the end of her post. And I have commented on that post, and I had notified the creator that this woman is in a high-risk situation. But she herself wasn't aware of the high risk. So this just shows that this awareness needs to be spread. There are still so many women not aware of the risk that they can be in. As I said, even if the man has not been physically violent before, during talks of separation, it may increase to this level. In fact, a 2017 study from the Australian Homicide Project showed that 50% of the men who had killed their women had not been physically or sexually violent with her the year that followed the homicide. I want your help in spreading this message. Press a like on this video and make a comment below, or share it with someone. It really helps, because this information it's still not getting spread enough. This information is still not common knowledge, and it could save so many women's life if it was. So what I did with this post is that I have replied to it, urged her to know that she is in a high-risk situation, and I told her that she can call the police and domestic hotlines. I have informed the creator, and I also flagged her post to YouTube when she has not responded in 24 hours. I sincerely hope that she's okay. Stage 8 is the homicide. Sometimes the man do a double homicide, suicide, and sometimes he will coerce the woman to commit suicide. This is called coerced suicide. Sometimes the woman, broken down from years of abuse, not seeing hope or a way out in her situation, does take her life. And just because you leave doesn't mean that the danger is over. He may still progress up the stages. And the sign that he is not done controlling you is stalking. Watch my video about dangerous stalking here. Why this matters? There are 8 stages before the final one. That means that many of these murders are preventable. It also means that if your partner is telling you how to fold the socks or what you should wear, that may be the start of something more serious than you have imagined. As Monckton Smith says, just because these signs are there does not mean that it will progress up all the 8 stages, but it means that the danger that it will do so is there. And if you have been told that it's not abuse unless he hits you, that is dangerously outdated thinking. If you're seeing these signs, please know that you're not overreacting, and you're not alone. You're not the only one who has been through this, and there is help to get. Coercive control can end in tragedy, but only if it goes unnoticed. You deserve freedom, peace, and joy, not fear and walking on eggshells in your own home. I will share the links in the description. Jane Monckton Smith's TED Talk, one of her books, and I will also link to the Australian homicide study. If you have been through this, share your story below and share how you got out safely. I'm Emma, holding up a light over the bridge. Remember, there is always a way out. There is always a way forward. Please be safe, take care, and have a great day.